Hello, we're live again. Right.
Becoming a habit, this, isn't it?
It is. Oh dear. Right. Let's see if we can have fewer technical glitches this time than we did just over a week ago.
We'll get used to it.
Yeah, we're getting there. Slightly different setup this time, folks, in terms of where monitors are and where controls are. So we'll see how we get on.
It will be fine.
Yes, let's hope so.
Technical hitches are there to keep you on your toes.
I've got enough things keeping me on my toes at the moment.
Haven't we all?
Yeah. We'll come on to that a little bit later. That particular issue, the elephant in the room, that we're all not wanting to talk about. So. Just a reminder, folks, for anyone tuning in to the shows about what they're all about. First, if you haven't done so already, please can you just take a moment to hit that subscribe button for the channel and hit the bell. It really does help how my channel appears on YouTube. And I desperately need to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours and all that so that I can earn some money from it, because I desperately need to find some new ways to earn some money these days, as I'll mention a little bit later. Right, just so that you know, this is a live broadcast. It will stay on my channel for replay for at least a week. The way I'm doing it is whichever is longer, 1 week or a day after the next broadcast, whichever is longer on that, so that you've got the chance to watch the replay then. Which means, folks, that the last one that we did, that will be going to Academy members only sometime tomorrow. So if you haven't seen that yet, once you've finished watching this, now's your chance to watch that. After tomorrow, there'll just be highlights of it left here on YouTube. The full thing will still be available to my Academy members. So that's happening. Yeah, so the highlights will stay. Right, the other thing about these shows is do ask questions. I would have preferred it to be in the comments because I lost all the chat last time after the show was over with editing it. But apparently you can't post in the comments while we're live, so please ask the questions in chat. We'll pick them up there. We'll go and have a look at them in a short while. I've got the Q&A section scheduled as part of this. Nobody's given us any questions yet, so put them in the chat, otherwise that's going to be a very, very short section.
I'll think of some questions then, just in case.
Yep. Do add if you're watching the replay, put your comments in the comments field for me. I will have a look at any questions that go in there and use them in the next broadcast. So what have we got on the show this week? Well, we're going to start with the news roundup with photography in general, news from Rick, news from myself. We got one of the highlights of this one is what I'm calling the 3-minute Lightroom challenge. Why on earth I thought of this one, I really don't know.
I'm going to wonder why I signed up for that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm wondering why I'm doing this as well. What it is, I asked some of you to provide me with some raw files that neither of us had seen before the edit. Now, I've already done mine. I did it earlier when Rick wasn't around, so that he couldn't see how I chose to edit the image. And partway through the show, Rick's going to do his edit, then we're going to play in mine. So we're both doing them independently. You'll get to see how we both edit this one image.
I literally have no idea what the image is. I know the gentleman who sent it is called Peter, I believe.
Yes,
that's about
you'll
as
find
much as I
out.
know.
Yeah.
So.
You shouldn't have sold them it was Peter's, because the other 4 are now not going to carry on watching to find out whose it was.
I'm sure
yeah, for the rest of you, your images will turn up in a future one. I will go through all of them on those. So that's coming up. When I asked last time what people want to see in these live shows, one of the things which was asked for was some beginner's stuff. So I'm in the process of putting together my introduction to digital photography course for my Academy members. So each of these live streams, I'm going to play in one of the videos from that course. So beginner level stuff. Today's is all about composition, but it's one aspect of composition, which is the question of what's my subject, what's the image subject, and I will build on that in future live streams, and within the Academy with the full course it builds even more. So that's coming up in the show. Your Q&A, as we've mentioned, please put your questions in the chat. And if you're watching this on replay, put it in the comments and I'll pick them up ready for the next live show. News. Big news about how well the photography show went this week. Was scheduled.
And then cancelled.
Yeah. That's why the show was scheduled for today, folks. It was because I wanted to bring some info about the photography show to it. Sadly, it's cancelled. However, I did a poster last week about the play, that the one-man show I'm doing. Guess what?
Cancelled as well.
Yep. News about the cruise, my next cruise, and all the information and the photos I can provide you with, and tales. Yep. To be perfectly honest with you, everything's been cancelled, and I'm a little bit worried because all my theatre gigs have been cancelled. To date, I've now lost 3 theatre productions that I should be photographing, and that's quite a sizable chunk of income gone. So it's not good. It's not good at all. Rick, your news.
Yes. Now, my upcoming events at the studio, both the Freezing Action Workshop and the Studio Day with Vienna Gray, haven't cancelled them necessarily, I've postponed them for now. I mean, the original dates are cancelled, yes, and we all know why. It's been all over the news and media. COVID-19. It's just taking a level of responsibility to protect people, both at home and people in general who would come in for the workshops and events, just to postpone them, push them back until we know more about what's going on, until the restrictions are either hardened or lifted. We don't really know what's going to happen yet. So it's just taking a bit of personal responsibility, both myself and the business as well. Just to hold on those things. So they will be back. Don't worry, they will be back. Yeah,
it's the same with me. I've not put mine on. I was in the process of planning some and decided that we really can't at the moment. It's not responsible.
No, it's a shame. It's a shame. I was looking forward to running those, and I ummed and ahed about it for a little bit. Yeah. But ultimately, you've got to be responsible, and everyone's got a responsibility at these times to step up and adhere to suggestions, recommendations, any restrictions, and so forth. Yeah. Because working together is the only way we're going to get it dealt with. At the end of the day.
Absolutely. So you finally had your live stream.
I did. Yeah. When I finally got the right cable to get my camera working.
Yeah. Did you use mine in the end?
Oh no, sorry, I did. Yeah. Tell a lie. I actually borrowed the camera that we're talking to now, so thank you very much for that again.
You're welcome.
Because the cable we're using now, the HDMI feed, works fine with this camera. Went to use it with my DSLR, the 5D Mark IV. Nope, didn't want to know. Right. At best, I got what looked like a badly cross-processed image with greens and purple hues. Ooh. So I thought, right, it's probably down to the length of the cable or the cable version, and ultimately it was the cable version. I need a HDMI 2, not a 1.4A. My bad.
Yeah.
But right. you got a free cable out of it.
Oh, right. You don't want it back? Oh, right. Okay.
One, no.
Hey!
But that technical issue's been resolved, so I can now actually stream using my own.
Yeah,
if needs be.
Yeah. Right. So we'll put the link to your live feed, your live stream, in the notes for this below the thing. So afterwards, give us a few moments to get the editing done on that and get the link in there so that anyone viewing this can go and find it and go and see it and go and watch it. Right. Yeah, you've got some information about Pixar Pro and sales and things.
Yes, I mentioned this on my live stream, and it was actually the initial reason why I started the live stream. And in full disclosure, I work alongside Pixar Pro at the photography show when it runs, which, as we all know, has now been pushed back to September. So it's not the end of it. We'll be there in September. I work with them as a technical advisor on the stand, a sales advisor on the stand as well, on the lighting section, modifiers and the stand and grip. I also help out during the 4 days on other elements as well. I do have a relationship with them. My studio is in a partner scheme or try before you buy, so if you want to try their kit, you can book the studio in for a hire, come and try their lights, which I have, before you buy them if you wish to. So that's the relationship that I have with Pixar Pro. It's been a good one. It's built up over time and organically. I don't necessarily see it as a sponsorship per se. Some people may read it as that, and I understand, I get that. But I just want to be straightforward and honest. That's my relationship with them. Currently, they're running some photography show sales. So very kindly, along with many other exhibitors as well, that were to show at the original dates, are running sales on their equipment, honouring the sales that they would have had at the show. So there's varying sales on lighting equipment, modifiers, lighting kits, also and bundle kits with free elements that can be provided as well. So go over and have a look at those at essentialphoto.co.uk or just do a search for Pixar Pro. They end on the 22nd of March. Just as an FYI on that one.
Again, we can put a link to that in the show notes. Right now. You sent me that one, so I'm not sure what the graphic's all about.
It's a picture of the Pika 200 Pro. I mean, that's one of the sale items that they've got on at the moment. They also have on sale the original Pika 200, which is the units that I have. Solid little lights. I'm actually in the process of making a video about those and why I like them so much. Again, I haven't been asked to do this. I'm doing this off my own back myself. And they're a solid little light, 200 watt second light, not much bigger, if really the same size as a speed light. You get Fresnel head, you get bare bulb. The difference is, if you guys are wondering what the difference is between the standard Pika and the Pika Pro, other than the price, the Pika Pro has 1/10 stop increment control, which is very nice. So picture a scenario where you've worked your lighting very close to a subject and you want to make a very, very small change in the exposure, but you don't really want to change the shadow pattern or move the light or change the fall off. You can do that within a 10 stop. A lot of higher end studio strobes have that as well.
Yep.
And it is most certainly very, very useful to do that with. It also has a colour stable mode, so a more accurate, so we say, or a more stable colour balance, shot to shot to shot and through the exposure range. So again, both wonderful little units, great for location work. If you're working by yourself, they're amazing because they're nice and lightweight.
Yeah. Great. Okay, so next under your news was you haven't fixed the date for your next live stream?
Oh, put me on the spot. No, well, I need to sort a date out for my next live stream. I would expect that I'll have Ian on as a guest if schedules align that way. And given the nature of the issue that everyone's experiencing at the moment and restrictions, I would like to get some live tutorials done. So some pre-recorded tutorial videos as well for the YouTube channel on my own. But it's difficult to gauge on whether I can bring someone into the studio, what the elements of risks are, what restrictions will be. So it's probably going to be an open floor conversation and live show. Date to be set. There'll be a Q&A section. If there's anything technical that gets asked, I'll rig the camera up on the set so we have some space to step back from it and maybe show something as well. That can possibly happen, and it will be a more open and fluid session, I think, on the next one. Date to be confirmed.
Sounds good. You already mentioned your YouTube videos. You've been recording some stuff.
Yes.
What have we got to look forward to on your channel?
Well, I say look forward to. I have... Oh, here we go. Right. I have put up a video today that's just gone live at 6 o'clock, just talking about the current situation that we're in. I know you're going to touch on that at a later stage yourself. A lot of people have within the industry that we're in, with other creative industries, with small businesses and freelancers, it's affecting a lot of people. Massive global impacts, massive local, regional impacts as well, of course. And it's just let's maintain a little bit of perspective. Yes, it's scary. Do not ever think that you have to struggle through this alone, be it worries about health, the virus, or the business aspects of it as well.
Yeah.
If you're struggling, reach out, call a friend, sit down, have a conversation. If you can't get together, a phone call, a video chat. There's people you can contact. There's people through associations, if you're a member of them, who you can contact for help as well.
Yeah.
So don't struggle through alone. Basically.
Yeah, and if you feel free to contact us as well.
Absolutely.
We're here to try and help people with this. We're not experts in COVID or even business for that matter, but we're an ear that you can bend
exactly.
on it.
And one thing I'd like to add, which I didn't mention in mine, is if you do end up having to self-isolate, what have you, maybe it's through work recommendations, company decisions, whatever it may be, it's horrible, it's scary, I understand. Take the proper precautions, take care of each other, help each other. If you're thinking of starting or have just started a business in photography or even otherwise, use some of that time to clear your plate. I know it's hard to focus on things when this is going on, I get that, but come out of the other side of this, and we all will. Everyone's working together to get by and get through this. Have a clean slate and a clean plate. So that workflow you wanted to sort out, get that done. The backup process, get that done. Any little things that you think, I've been putting that off because I really don't want to do it. I prefer shooting, I prefer doing this. Get those things out of your way, clear your headspace, get them done and dusted, and then have at it again when we're out the other side.
Right, okay. So I think, it moves on to my news. Right, my latest video up on YouTube, you may or may not know it's there. It's the first time I've done a not safe for work video on YouTube, which means you have to set your account to be okay to view that type of content. So if you're not seeing it on the list of videos of mine and want to watch it, if you don't want to watch anything that includes nudity, then leave your settings as they are. I'm not offended, I'm not bothered. But if you do, then you need to click on your little profile icon in YouTube, and it will drop down, and right at the bottom it says restrictive mode, and that will be either on or off. And if that is on, then it won't even show you that this video exists. So you have to change that, and there's a video there. It's a combination of I did it originally as an edit video about how I created this image in Lightroom and the editing I did on it. But I've also fed in the behind the scenes footage of when the video was recorded here. The model's Rihanna Gray, fantastic model, some really interesting effects we got with it. So if that's the sort of images that you like to work on, art and use something a little bit different, go and have a look at that video. That's my latest one to go up there this week. Right, what else? As I've already said, all my events are cancelled, postponed until further notice. Really sad. I was so close. I'd sent messages to a couple of models, and I've had to say no, can't do it on there, unfortunately. So what am I doing? Well, what I'm doing is I'm focusing on remote learning, and that's partly through these live streams. I am going to try and make sure these are weekly, this sort of news and question and answer, and feeding in other things as well on there. But for my Academy members, as of yesterday morning, a new series of Academy Bites have been going out, which, for those who don't know, these are short emails with an image and a little bit of information about it. It appears in the inbox every other day, just to try and inspire and help people. And the new series is all about things you can photograph at home. So if you are in self-isolation, these are projects that you don't need to go out for, you don't need to hire a studio for, you can just get on with. And I had feedback from one person saying that he found just even the first one helpful and inspiring, and saying, can we have some more? And yes, there are going to be more. I've got a series planned. Next one should be coming out to the Academy members tomorrow morning, if everything goes to plan. I'm also spending a lot of time now preparing and converting my face-to-face training into video training, so that if you are stuck at home, you want to learn photography, you can do that remotely. You don't have to come to the studio to do it. I'm providing the same level of training as I would do face-to-face. Whilst they're pre-recorded videos, and you'll see one of them later during this broadcast, the aim is they are still interactive. There will be things for you to do. There will be assignments to do, homework to do, submit, and you'll get feedback on it. So it'll be a true course that's available through the Academy. The Academy is only £6 a month, so at the time when we're all feeling the pinch, I don't feel that's a particularly high price to ask for beginner level training in photography. So if you know anyone who's interested, do let them know, because I really could do with a few more people signing up on that, to be perfectly honest with you.
It's a bargain, really.
On there. Yeah, and the elephant in the room, I mean, Rick's mentioned it, the whole thing about social distancing, COVID-19. My next live stream is going to be Sunday nights, and I'm going to try and fix on Sunday nights. It's not always going to be possible, but I'm going to do the next one and look really specifically about how this affects us as photographers. I don't want to be scaremongering with it, but I want to try and give some practical advice about what you can do in the current climate, about how are we going to survive as photographers. Some of us have a business to worry about. Some of us, it's a hobby. Some of us, it's both. And how we are going to have to adjust to that. Some very practical advice about your equipment, and things like that. I don't want to get ahead of myself by talking about it now. So please keep an eye on the stream. Perhaps join me on Sunday night. And I'm flying solo on that one. Rick's having the night off.
I'll watch. I'll jump in the chat.
Brilliant.
So
heckle me by text.
Yes, I just can't be here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, just onto that. I mean, you're going to say that on the next live stream. I get that. It's scary. We get it. You're not alone in this. Take a breath. Get some perspective. You know, there's assistance and there's help out there, and there's a learning curve with it all. But no one's by themselves. If you know someone who is by themselves, say an elderly local neighbour, check in on them if you can do. If you feel that they're real, check in on them from distance, understandably. It doesn't take a lot to arrange some shopping to be delivered if they're stuck.
Yeah.
You know, let's be honest.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Let's move on. And the 3-minute challenge. Well, before we get into that, let's just have a look at the chat and what's going on. Hello, Gary, Ron, Nick, Richard, on there, Andy, Gary.
Mr. Park, how are you doing, fella?
Right, we'll deal with your question on ND filters later on, but I've clocked that.
Hello, David.
Evening, Kev. And we'll deal with Andy's question as well later, I think, about studios. Yeah,
we'll deal with that in the Q&A, so just bear with us on that, Andy. We'll hit these in the Q&A section, otherwise we'll end up just...
we'll be going off on even more tangents
than
we are. Right, so... the next bit I got scheduled, Rick's kind of blown the ending of it, but I'm just going to show you how I selected which image we're going to look at. So there's always one. Right. Okay. So if I find the right one to play in, video, video. Right, selecting an image. So we'll watch this, then we'll come back and I'll set Rick going on the challenge. For this 3-minute Lightroom edit challenge, I've asked people to send me some raw files for both myself and Rick to edit. I haven't seen what the images are, and 5 people sent me files for it. So what I need to do now is to select the image that we're actually going to do the challenge with. And as you can see over my shoulder, we've had images from Andy Callan, Andy Grady, Kev Pack, Peter and Richard. So 5 files. How am I going to select them? Well, I'm going to go over to a random number generator, a minimum of 1 to 5. I'm going to hit generate and that will tell me which one. So number 4. So number 4 is Peter's image for this week and for the challenge. So let me get that loaded up into Lightroom. And we're back, and we've swapped places. Right, okay, Rick, I need my phone. So,
where's the mouse? There's the mouse.
You got your mouse, right? Let me get a timer going for you.
Let's see. Oh,
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Your 3 minutes starts now.
Okay, so we have a portrait here, 125th of a second, standard studio shutter speed, f11 ISO 135mm. Okay.
You've just been watching the cut down version of this, so if you want to see the full version, it will be available inside my academy. So thanks for watching, folks. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down here so you'll get notified of future videos. Up here is a playlist of videos similar to this one, and here is one specific video that I think you will like, whereas down here is one that YouTube thinks you'll like. Until next time, keep making great photos. Bye for now.